Hey, how's it going? It's Sophia here from Zen Guidance. I hope all is well with you today, and thank you for clicking on this pick a card reading. So in this reading, we're going to be looking at your next 48 hours. So what's going to be happening with you over the next 48 hours. So this is a timeless reading, so whenever you're drawn to this is when it's meant for you. And the time frame will begin as soon as this reading has finished. So all you need to do to find out is choose one of the images on your screen. Feel free to pause the video here if you need a little time. And once you've made your choice, you can go to the description box below, where you'll find the corresponding timestamps to your chosen pile. You'll also find a link to my website if you'd like to book a personal reading with me. Okay, so let's get into your reading now. Click the timestamp and I'll see you there. Okay, group number 1. Let's take a look at your next 48 hours. Okay, what's going to be happening for you over the next 48 hours. Okay, so we have take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. Expect powerful change. Nothing will come of this situation, okay? And then look at the bigger picture. Okay, so group 1 is an interesting mix that I'm seeing here to begin, because it feels like, certainly I would feel the next 24 hours of this 48-hour time frame, will be a lot quieter than the second half. Because it feels like this next 24 hours is definitely going to be more relaxing. Okay, you may be taking some time out. You could be taking some time off work. Maybe this falls on a partial weekend for you, depending on when you're drawn to watch this, of course. But it feels like there is some kind of situation that you feel like isn't really getting you anywhere. Okay, because the void of course moon doesn't provide any results. Okay, so you may also feel like that your energy is best spent elsewhere. Like you may feel like it's better spent relaxing or taking a breather, maybe not speaking to someone, it could be, okay? But needing some space, needing time to feel more at peace within yourself. Okay, this may be feeling like how you're feeling energetically. Maybe you're feeling super drained and tired and you don't feel like you can do anything else at this time. And like you're not going to be able to create any positive results when you feel so tired. So I'm just taking off my coat, jacket, whatever you call it. I'm quite hot. I've suddenly got quite hot. So 1 second. Okay. But then here, this expect powerful change, and then look at the bigger picture, which is Sagittarius and represents expansion. So it's almost like you're needing this space or you're needing this break because your body is intuitively sensing that there's something bigger that's about to occur. Okay, now we have the new moon eclipse, which we just have had in the sign of Aries. We had this solar eclipse, new moon. Okay, I'm recording this the day after, so the energies are still very impactful. So it feels like there's big changes on the horizon for you, which I feel like you're going to start to see the beginnings of in the next 48 hours. Okay, this look at the bigger picture. Now, this could also have a connection to travel. Okay, you may be traveling somewhere by the end of the next 2 days, somewhere that's quite far, or you may be, for some of you, you might be speaking to somebody that lives in a different country, or you may even be planning a trip. A transatlantic trip is what I just heard. Okay, what is this that's just flew out here? We've got love begins. Excuse me. I've had a really weird cold lately, but it's kind of like it's not really manifested into anything major, which I'm grateful for, but it's affecting my throat a little bit. So I'm trying to keep these readings a little bit shorter today. Okay. So love begins in reverse. Yeah, so again, even I didn't even think about where I was placing it, but when I look, it makes sense. It's like there's this need to focus on self-love. Like this is like pouring that cup back into you. So especially if you've been focused so much attention on other people or giving your love away, this feels like this is more about you rebalancing yourself now. Yeah, okay, the base chakra in reverse. So there's definitely a sense of being out of alignment here when it comes to your physicality, when it comes to your security. Okay, the base represents anything physical. So this could be your health. Okay, you may not be feeling like a top notch right now in your health. You may be feeling, lacking in energy, or you may even be experiencing physical pains, okay, that feel debilitating to what you're wanting to do. But again, it's like this energy of surrender, okay, this idea that, okay, I just have to go with the flow. This is what my body is wanting, or this is what I'm feeling I need to do. Or maybe even in reference to money, if you don't feel like you've got quite enough money for something you want to do in the next couple of days. Like you may be feeling like, okay, it's disappointing, but I understand that I just have to go with the flow. Okay, I can't fight against this. This is what's really happening. Okay, so there is this sense of loss that I see here, like something that feels like, it's not quite getting off to the start that you wanted. Okay, it doesn't feel like it's anything too major or too deep here. It's like, I don't know, this could just be a plan that you had to go somewhere that, I don't know. I don't feel like this is the long distance trip. This feels like somewhere that's maybe even more local. Like maybe you're planning to go to the gym, but you're not feeling up to it. Or you're planning to meet a friend for a coffee, but they cancel. Or maybe you don't feel like you can budget for lunch or something. I don't know. But something where it feels like it's like a disappointment, but not something gut-wrenching, you know? But it does feel like, again, you're going to be receiving some kind of epiphanies here. But it's like through this rest cycle, this is when the inspiration comes. Because when you think about it, when do we dream? At night, when we're resting. It's like our body can be at rest, our mind can be at rest, so our dreams can come to reality, okay, or to our vision, so we can process them. So it feels like this is what you're going to be doing, taking more time to rest, even though it may feel frustrating in certain ways. There is something positive that's coming out of the end of this. Okay, there's light at the end of the tunnel. So let's just get some more information. White buffalo. Flowing river, exactly. Yes, group one. This feels like you're just having to go with the flow right now. Like you can't force things to be the way that you want them to be. But I feel like you'll end up actually enjoying the process. But there's something about needing to spend time alone. With that white buffalo there, it feels like a sense of isolation. Even like shivers, feeling cold. So maybe this is even you feeling like, I'm so cold, I need to book a holiday. Okay, I need to do something that gets me out of this funk. Okay, because that's also sometimes the key. Like when we hit rock bottom, and again, I don't think this is rock bottom for you these next 2 days, but just as an example, when we hit rock bottom, there's only one way to go, which is up. And so I feel like it's like you've been knocked on your ass a little bit, and then the momentum or the motivation comes to you through inspiration, through this rest. Like for instance, you could spend more time watching videos, films, movies. Why do I always do that? I always say films, movies, like they're the same thing. Whatever. Films, TV shows, documentaries, YouTube, of course, that you wouldn't naturally be watching, for instance, because you would be active doing something else. So it feels like this rest is definitely going to bring forth a lot of new information. Okay, and again, this need to be alone, to isolate yourself a little bit, to focus on what it is that you need to do. Okay, your goals, your dreams, your passions. Okay. But it's like you have to get yourself back to whether this is good physical health, good financial health, or maybe if this was even a recent rejection. Okay, if you've experienced a recent rejection and it's like you're just starting to heal from that. Okay, starting to find your sense of self-worth again, starting to find your confidence again. Okay, so we have the sacral chakra. There's definitely a lot of things out of balance at the moment, but oh my God, look, the Magician and the Mirror. Wow. And the Sun is on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so we have the Sun, which is your vitality, which is your happiness and your confidence. So I do feel like you're going to end the next 48 hours feeling much brighter, much more optimistic about the future and about how you feel in the now ultimately. But see here, it's like these blocks that have been going on within you, these physical blocks, financial blocks, emotional blocks and also creative blocks is coming through here. So if you are a creative person and you've been trying to make something, to initiate some kind of plan, some kind of project, whether it's just purely for passion or for business or both, I feel like the ideas will come to you through this rest, through this need to take a break and to go with the flow, because that's when serendipitous events happen as well. It's when we're just being spontaneous. We're not focused on something. It reminds me when I was in London, when was it, last year, and I was on my own at that moment. I had the evening to myself and I just wanted to be spontaneous and just find a nice bar or something and just chill. But I was on my like city mapper and I was just like looking down and I was like looking for like certain places and nothing was really happening. And I kept like coming up against all these roadblocks. So I ended up like turning my maps off and I just thought, I'm just going to walk. I'm just going to walk and just see what happens. And honestly, I had the best night ever. Like I met somebody, we went for dinner, we went for drinks, and like just all of these crazy, weird events happened off the back of just being spontaneous and flowing. And so, yeah, I have to remind myself sometimes that it is such a good thing sometimes to just not have plans. Like, of course, we need to have structure and plans a lot of days out of the week, but if you're able to maybe have, or even at a certain amount of time, like I'm going to give myself 4 hours, I'm just going to flow, I'm not going to focus on anything specific, I'm just going to see what happens and then look what will manifest. Okay, so you are in this like creation phase right now, or rather I feel like this is like the manifestation phase that is about to turn into the creation phase. So it's like you don't know what to take action on yet, but you will. Okay, you're going to have that clarity very soon. And again, within the next 48 hours, you are going to receive some clarity. Now, it may not be everything that you need to know in order to get going, but it's definitely going to put you back on track in some way. Again, it's going to light you up and give you that sense of innovation, like I know what to do now, or I know the next step I need to take. Because sometimes we don't know the next 10 steps. We might know just the next 2 steps. But without those next 2 steps, we can't get to the 10th step. So yeah, it really feels like you're making some kind of really positive progress in your life. And to me, it kind of feels like it's about career and finances in some way. And travel may also come into that. Okay. What else is going to be happening in your next 48 hours? And then I will get the fishbowl messages. Okay, so we have the counselor. So you may even be getting some counseling, some kind of therapy. Okay, or you may be speaking to somebody that is a bit therapizing, if that's even a word. Like somebody that wants to help you, but it kind of feels like, I don't know, like you won't appreciate this person's help. Like it feels like their motives or they've got an agenda in some way and you sense it. So you may decide not to take their advice. Now, this may not be somebody in person. This might just be like a video or something. It could be like a self-help video and then you're a bit dubious about it. Okay, I know that's a very specific one. So we've got the Ace of Swords. Of course, this is clarity. Like I was saying, this is the inspiration. You are going to receive some information. And again, maybe even it comes from this person that you weren't expecting. Okay, or maybe you didn't trust, but you still like something. It's like this light bulb going off in your head, group 1. You are receiving a major light bulb moment these next 48 hours. Okay, so the 9 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, this epiphany is going to lead you to this awakening of, I have to let something go. Okay. Like you have to give up something in order to initiate something new. What do you need to give up, group 1? What are you going to need to give up? You're going to, something about self-deceit here. Something about your own perspective, okay? You're going to have to give up your point of view, which is very interesting. It's not something I've ever read before. So very unique, rare message coming through. That, yeah, there's truth coming in. It's going to lead you to change your perspective where you were confused or you were trying to see something in one way, but the reality was different, and you're going to give up on that. So you're going to see things in a more balanced and logical way moving forwards. There's a lot of air. So yeah, it's a lot of logic rather than emotion. So yeah, I don't feel like you're going to be in a super emotional place. I feel like you're going to be, making certain decisions and choices based off specific thoughts that you receive rather than feelings. Again, you may lean into, for instance, how your body feels, those physical feelings, but I'm not seeing much emotion being thrown into this, which you might find a nice reprieve, group one, especially if you have, with this sacral chakra reverse, if you have been having a lot of emotional sensitivity lately. I mean, we're just coming out of Pisces season. So again, there's a lot about releasing emotion. We're not fully out of it. Mars is still there. But it's time to move into the action and initiation phase. And again, it doesn't matter when you're drawn to watch this. Okay, this being a timeless reading, it's still that energy of letting emotions go and sensitivity, or connecting more to it, grieving it, and then being able to close that chapter and move forwards. Okay, if this is making any sense so far, please do give me a like or a comment. I really do appreciate your support. It does help this video to get pushed out more. So any engagement, even if you don't like it, just dislike. Okay, again, all engagement is welcome. So we have, long distance. Take a deep breath. That's the same as this card here. I think it says breathe out, I think. Hold on, we need to see, don't we? We need to see. Take time to breathe out. Take a deep breath. So yes, you are going to be taking that time to breathe out, to take a deep breath. Okay, to relax. So again, maybe having space from a particular connection. For some of you, it may even be somebody reaches out to you, but you decide to hold back on reaching out. You might decide to wait until the end of the next 48 hours before reaching out or reconnecting. Okay, now you could be connected with somebody at a long distance. Again, we've got another repeating message here about travel and long distance. So yeah, you may be speaking to somebody that lives very far away. Detached. Yeah, again, I feel like that's about your emotions. You're going to be more emotionally detached these next 48 hours. Okay, and let's just see what these final messages are. Lacking self-awareness. This is such a clear reading, group one. It really is. There's not many mixed messages coming through, which is nice, isn't it? Because this, again, is that Seven of Swords reverse, lacking self-awareness. So you may begin without as much awareness in this 48-hour period, but you will end the next 48 hours with a lot of awareness and clarity. So we've got ghost. Excuse me. So yeah, you may decide to ghost someone, or you may be dealing with the ramifications of being ghosted. Again, this could be what this sense of being out of balance is about. Okay, feeling insecure about. But regardless, it's like you detach. You either decide to ghost someone that I feel like ghosted you. I still feel like there's been a ghosting here. So yeah, I feel like you may decide to retaliate with a ghosting, because maybe you've actually let this go now moving forwards. Or again, you may decide to go ghost, just MIA on everybody like these next 2 days, especially if you're not feeling up to, your best, and you just feel like, I just need some space, everybody. This may even be about your mental health. Like you may be having, a bit of a depressive mental health episode or something where you feel like you just need space. You just need time away. You just need to relax, to find your peace before you step back into social circles, back into the environment that you're used to being in terms of socially, I mean. And then we've also got yes. Okay, so if you had a question roaming around in your mind as I was reading these out, like that would have a yes or no answer, then it would be a yes. Okay, so if you might have been thinking, is it going to be this person reaching out to me? Yes. Okay, that's just what came through to me. Or am I going to be the one to ghost them? Yes. Is it going to be the person that ghosted me? Yes. Maybe somebody says yes to you. If you ask them something, they may say yes. Or you may feel inclined to say yes, but after some time where you've thought about it. Now, for some of you, you may even be invited on a holiday or a trip, and you say yes, but maybe you decide, I need to take some time first. I need to take a deep breath. I need to look at my situation, my finances, my situation before I can move ahead with this. So very interesting. I love doing these readings because there's so many different ways that they can go. And obviously every day is always going to be different. So I always find that they're interesting readings. I don't like to do the same thing over and over again. I definitely like to mix it up. So I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, please do let me know in the comments. Feel free to come back to this video in 48 hours if it did come to pass. Would love to know what you think. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the link to my website is below. I do hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now. Hey there, Group 2. So let's take a look at your next 48 hours and what's going to be happening for you. So just know that the time frame will begin as soon as you've finished watching this pile. Okay, so what's going to be happening in your next 48 hours, Group 2? A win-win outcome is forecast. We like that. That's a very nice way to begin. Hold your vision. Fixed moon. Oh, a fiery climax approaches. And then the energy is gaining momentum. Wow, okay, Group 2. So straight out of the gate here, this is definitely going to be a very energetic next 48 hours, okay? I see, yeah, you having a lot of energy. Like you're in this Aries, this Aries energy of movement and challenges, but like any challenges you come up against, you just knock them down, like, or knock them out of the park just came through to me, which is, I believe, is that a baseball reference? I don't know if somebody likes to play baseball or, I mean, we don't even have baseball here in the UK. We have rounders and cricket. But yeah, obviously that phrase, that was definitely a channel message. You guys know that I've started doing that more so recently, channeling like specific phrases, which are not like my usual go-to. So yeah. So knock him out of the park. Maybe you'll actually go to the park, okay, a local park, and go for a run. But there's a lot of quick moving energy with Aries here. So yeah, you could be going on some kind of sprint, a run, or you might just be like running around like a headless chicken. Like you've got so many things to do. And sorry in advance, by the way, I've got something going on with my throat at the moment. Something a little bit viral. Hopefully it's going. But I am trying to keep these readings a little bit shorter because it definitely irritates it as I'm talking. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I just feel like you're not going to have much rest. Okay. So at least that's good to know. So you know that you're going to be doing a lot, and then you can account for maybe having a rest afterwards. Now we've got a win-win outcome is forecast. Now it's ruled by Libra. Okay, we've got Libra and Aries as zodiac signs, which you may resonate with. But this is the energy of relationships, you know, a partnership with somebody. Libra represents other people, okay, as well as contracts, money, beauty. But to me, it feels like it's specifically about another person, okay? But it feels like there is some kind of outcome that is going to feel like a win for you. You're going to feel like, yes, this was it. This is what I needed. So maybe this is gaining clarity from someone you're in a relationship with or a situationship. Sometimes this can represent friendships or business partners, but to me, it does feel like it's more on the romantic front. And I feel like this is somebody that you've been fixated on for quite some time, okay, with the hold your vision. Excuse me. But it does feel like if things have been very slow, they're about to pick up. They're picking up the pace here moving forwards, okay? This energy is gaining momentum, the waxing moon. This is gaining light leading up to the full moon, okay? So from the new moon phase into the, oh my God, literally, from the full moon. Or rather, no, from the new moon to the full moon. We've got two full moons here, as well as the waxing. So yeah, it's all about energy. It's all about gaining truth and light and understanding and taking action, okay? So there are also things I feel like you're going to be initiating. It's a lot about new beginnings here. So like say you've got a list of things you've been meaning to do, like a to-do list of like general chores and errands that you need to run. It's like I see you ticking off this list quicker than you can imagine, okay? You're just going to be like tick, tick, tick. Like you just feel like you have the energy. You feel like you have the drive to get going, to keep moving. Okay, now for some of you, maybe this is like a bit of a distraction. You might be trying to distract yourself from a situation or from an outcome. If you're waiting to hear about an outcome when it comes to a relationship or legal matters or contracts, this may be like, I'm just obsessed with this right now. I'm too focused on it. So I'm going to need to distract myself. And I said, go for a run or go to the gym, go for a swim, or, do some activities, do some DIY or whatever it may be. Just keeping yourself moving, keeping yourself very busy. Okay, we've got transformation, death card energy here, Scorpio. The base chakra. So your next 48 hours, group 2. Ooh, discontent and boredom. Deception and envy. Okay. So group 2. Yeah, it feels like there is definitely a big transformation going on right now. Okay, you may have experienced a recent ending, or maybe that's something that you are concerned. Maybe something you're worried if something is over. But the beautiful thing here, death and then a new beginning. Because that is the natural cycle. There's death and then there's new life. And this is exactly what I see happening here. So if you have recently experienced some kind of ending that's felt very deep, regenerative, it is going to shift you into something new. Like maybe, again, it's like shifting your energy. It's like when you are in a low place, sometimes you feel like you need to do something so drastic to get yourself out of it. I'll tell you what, it's one of the reasons why I did a skydive. I was about to turn 30 and I was freaking out about it, and I was not in a good place mentally at this time. This was before I started this channel, and I was just like, I need to do something crazy. And I did the skydive, even though I've always been terrified of heights, but it changed everything. It really did. It shook me up, literally and figuratively. And yeah, it helped me. It really did. I would say it was like that Aries energy. It was the first thing that put me on this positive spiral forwards. Okay. It was dramatic enough to shake me up. Excuse me. And so sometimes it's those dark times that push us forwards into things we would have never have dreamed of. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening here for you, group 2. Okay, now, of course, it may not be as dramatic as a skydive or whatever, but just something that drives you, that pushes you to take action. It doesn't matter where the motivation comes from. It's the fact that the motivation is here and it's here to stay, I feel. Okay, we've got the boredom and discontent energy, 4 of Cups. So, which is, again, very restless. It's restless. It's like it's too much energy. You're going to have this surge of it. It's not like you've got a lack of it and you're trying to, like walk through molasses. You've got an abundance of energy. It's almost like it's too much that if you don't use it, you won't be able to sleep, or it'll send your mind into overdrive or something. So it's like you're really being guided to use that energy whilst you have it at your disposal. Now we have the deception and envy, which is about deceit. Okay, somebody being deceitful, somebody not being upfront or honest. Now I'm not sure who this is, whether this is you or someone else being this way with you these next 48 hours. And again, remember, it may not make sense yet because we are looking into the future, so only time will really tell what all of this means. But with this too, so I'm going to get some more clarity though. What's going on your next 48 hours? But also that number 7 is really drawing me in. So something about the number 7, you may be seeing a lot in synchronicity. Maybe something you happen to notice at 7 a.m. or p.m. out of one of the 2 days. A message you receive perhaps at that time. A message you send at that time. Okay. Your next 48 hours, group 2. Shapeshifter. Walking in beauty. Okay. I like this contrast between the blue and the red. It's like the hot and cold here. So I don't know. I feel like maybe there is going to be a bit of hot and cold activity going on. Even though I almost feel in your energy, you're going to be hot, hot, hot. Like you're going to be focused, moving, okay, shape shifting as well. So this is part of transforming, okay? You are moving into new energies, into new territory, creating new things, taking more action, okay? Sorry if you can hear my washing machine going. That's very loud. Wow, it's loud to me. Hopefully you can't hear it. Mercury retrograde is in full swing though. Anyway, walking in beauty. I feel like you're going to do some kind of beauty treatment. I'm taking this quite literally. Okay, that's what I'm feeling called to do, to take this very literally. So yeah, you might be going to the hairdressers, to an esthetician, makeup artist, a stylist of some kind. Or maybe you'll even be doing some kind of beauty treatment on yourself, okay? Maybe you're a DIYer, okay? But I definitely feel like it's going to affect your physicality, your physical appearance in some way. Or this may even be like going, like I said, to the gym or doing something that you know is bettering your physical appearance, even though it may be bettering your internal as well as your external. Because even this base chakra in this upright position shows that you are in good balance. Your physicality is in good balance. Your finances look to be in good balance. Now, this may also be an offer of money. I'm seeing something about an offer, and it does feel like it's about money. But for some of you, it might be an offer to do some kind of physical exercise. Like somebody, maybe you've got like a fit friend or something. They may ask you to go for a run with them or something. Oh, this wasn't the deck I wanted to use yet. Hold on. I'll do that in a moment. I want to look at this first. Your next 48 hours, and I will be getting the fishbowl messages today as well. Excuse me. Journey in reverse, okay. And the sacral chakra, not the sacral, the third chakra in reverse. Okay. So I don't feel like you're going to be going on any trips, okay? If I see that, I'll always let you know. But I feel like with the journey card reverse, again, I'm feeling the need to take it quite literally. Okay. But I am seeing another meaning to it as well, which I'll get to. But I feel like, yeah, this is just letting you know that you may, yeah, like, or if anything, if you do travel anywhere, you may travel back to somewhere that you've been. Like you could be traveling home, like to your hometown or to an old friend's house, an old girlfriend, boyfriend's house. Or maybe even just like a restaurant you haven't been to in years, or yeah, anywhere that you are revisiting. So if anything, I don't feel like the travel aspect, there's much new going on. If anything, it feels like you might stay in your local area or you'll go back to places that you are familiar with. But then the third chakra, the solar plexus, there's something about your identity here, something about your ego and your sense of confidence. Because even though I see a lot of security coming in here, because I feel like this may happen before, like you may be feeling a bit insecure now or a bit worried about something, that something's not happening, like feeling like you need more money or you need an offer of some kind, but it does come in these next 48 hours. So you don't need to worry for much longer if that's where you are now. Or maybe this is like you're needing money to fund a trip, okay? And I do feel like it's coming in, or certainly new information about that will be coming in. But there's something about you questioning yourself here. There really is. Like, I don't know, you feel like this need to go back. Again, why does all this energy of needing to go back coming through? But I need to, maybe even going back to your childhood or picking up a hobby or something that you used to do. Yeah, okay. Let's just see what else is coming through. Your next 48 hours, group 2. The counselor, that's funny because that one came through in the same position in group 1's reading, but in a different way, but funny. We've got heaven and earth. Ace of Swords reversed. Choice. And the King of Water. Okay. So we've got a possible water sign masculine that I'm seeing coming through. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But I feel like you may be confused about them in some way. And again, something about it doesn't feel grounded, doesn't feel secure. Like, I feel like this is where you start to question things, maybe question your security or their consistency. So this may be where this hot and cold is coming in. But then there's something here about this, like, I don't know, there could be two people. There's like twinning energy here, but I don't feel like this is the two of you. It feels like this is, or maybe it is. Maybe you are like mirroring each other a bit here. But my initial thought was that this is like two different people that have similar traits, both empathetic, both have a sweet, nurturing and caring side to them. But one is more closed off than the other one. Okay, so you may be having some communication with these two people over the next 48 hours, but you may feel like the one that you want the attention from is not the one that you're getting it from. That's just what came through to me there. I do feel by the end of the next 48 hours, you're going to feel in a much more kind of spontaneous place though, because I feel for the majority of this time frame, you're going to be, again, quite focused, fixated on doing. Okay, it's very practical doing energy that I see, like getting this done. Again, like I said at the beginning, ticking off all of those things on your to-do list. But then I feel like probably once you've accomplished a lot of these things, you'll be in a more spontaneous, free energy where you can flow a little bit and you can, I said, initiate things, take some risks, like because you feel like, like I've got this weight lifted off my shoulders now, so I can now just live a bit more freely. Okay. So some fishbowl messages for you for the next 48 hours. Okay. So we've got, wish fulfillment. Haven't seen this one in a while. Nice to see it though. Okay, so you are going to feel like, yes, something about your dreams are coming true. So yeah, something that you have been hoping or wishing for. So I'm just going to move my coffee before I knock it over. Is definitely coming to pass here, okay? So you are going to be celebrating something, I feel, when this comes in. Now, it may happen on a Wednesday. You could be watching this on a Wednesday. It may be the wish fulfillment actually comes in on a Wednesday. Maybe something you're thinking about in these next 48 hours, and then the following Wednesday it actually happens. So it could be long-lasting. Third house. Go with the flow. Still angry. Not now, but later. Soft. And then the 8th house. Okay, so the 8th and the 3rd house here, we've got Scorpio and Gemini. There's something secret here, something hidden. Again, like I feel like there's two people that are going to be messaging you. One is going to be quite consistent. The other one is going to be more secretive. Now, maybe the more secretive one is still angry about something, so they may be holding back. You may also be still angry and they may be worried that you are angry with them, so they're not reaching out or being expressive because they're worried about what may happen. We've got not now, but later. So it's like, yeah, something is postponed here, it feels like. Yeah, something that, again, maybe you've planned, but then it will like come to fruition later. Something I feel like is going to be long lasting though. And I feel like this is what you're hoping for when it comes to this wish. Like you're hoping that it will be something that stands the test of time. And I feel like you're not willing to compromise on that. If it's not going to be something long term, you're not interested, but you'll be happy to go with the flow in this kind of soft energy. So even though I feel like there's a lot of hard energy coming through, again, this focus, this fire, this practical, but then there is this soft watery side here with these two people. And I feel like maybe more so with the people you're talking to, whether these are just friends or they are lovers or situationships, I feel like you'll be more flowing with them, more focused in your activities. But when it comes to your relationships, you're just going to allow things to take their natural course and not force things to be a particular way, which I definitely feel like will go in your favor, group 2. So this is what I see for you. I really hope it resonates. Please do comment below if it does, whether it's now or in 2 days from now. Would love to have your feedback. And don't forget to give the video a like or a dislike, depending on what you thought. I appreciate your engagement. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the link to my website is below. I do hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now. Group number 3. Let's take a look at your next 48 hours and what's going to be happening for you. Okay, so just know the time frame will begin as soon as this reading has finished. Okay, or as soon as you finish watching it. So what's going to be happening in your next 48 hours, group 3? Don't let your past hold you back. South Node. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. Expect powerful change. New moon eclipse. And the energy is gaining momentum. Waxing moon. Okay. And please do bear with me. I'm just prefacing, I do have something going on with my throat at the moment, so the reading will be a little bit shorter than usual, but it does irritate it as I'm speaking, okay? So, don't let your past hold you back. So there's something about a past connection here, okay? Or something you may be worried about recurring. Yeah, I feel like there's this worry that you might repeat a mistake. So you may be thinking, should I, shouldn't I? But then you're being guided to know that luck is on your side with this new moon in Sagittarius. Okay, that there is a powerful change coming. I'm recording this the day after the new moon eclipse in Aries, which is, again, incredibly powerful, very intense. But it feels like this is going to gather more energy for you moving forwards. Now, you may be traveling somewhere. There's been a lot about travel today, I will say. But certainly here, I feel like, yeah, you may be either planning a trip or you may actually be traveling somewhere during these 48 hours, but I need more clarity here. These next 48 hours, what's going to be happening for you, group 3? Rest and rejuvenates in reverse. Ooh, harmony. Okay, so I am seeing some kind of reconcile here, or an attempt at a reconcile. Okay, because this past and then this coming together, this harmony, this is the 6 of Cups. Okay, in reverse, this is, a reunion. So this may be somebody that maybe they've been traveling or you've been separated from, so you may be coming back together. So maybe you're aware that you're going to come back together. For others of you, this may not be something you have conscious awareness of yet, especially if this is not somebody you're actually together with at this time, like in a relationship, Excuse me. But this may be somebody that you've been hoping that you would reconcile with, or maybe you've lost hope in that you would come back together, because I do see a lot of mental stress attached to it. And I almost get this sense of longing before it happens. I see you being like, oh, I miss them. I just want to see them again, or I just want to hear from them again, and then it happens, okay? Because we've got luck is on your side. So in some way, you may even be manifesting this in. But it's interesting because obviously, when manifestation actually comes to fruition is when we're not thinking about it. As they say, a watched pot never boils. But here it kind of feels like you are focused on them and then it happens. But what may happen is that you're pining for this person and then you do something else, you distract yourself, maybe even for 5 minutes, and then they reach out during that moment when you are distracted. Okay, I definitely see this coming together, but it may even be like you bump into this person. And maybe you don't expect to, because maybe you thought that they were away somewhere and then you see them and you're kind of shocked. So that could be what occurs here. You're definitely going to be feeling very intuitive because, the way that this reconnection happens, I feel like you're going to be literally looking up and counting your lucky stars going, oh my God, thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you for getting this person to reach out to me, or thank you for putting us in the same place at the same time. Because when you think about it, when you run into certain people, it really is so serendipitous. There's certain people I always run into, and not even people I know that well, but it's like you're magnetized to them. And sometimes it's like, why does that keep happening? But I feel like, yeah, you definitely want this to happen. And you will feel like, wow, my intuition is on fire. Because again, it's half and half. Like that person, if this is an in-person meeting, like a run-in, like you both have to be on the same page. Like I'm going to go to this exact place at this exact time, and then you align. So it's like half and half, but you're definitely going to feel like your intuition is definitely working well for you. But I am curious about the passion ignited though in reverse, because it's like you come back together, but then I don't know, you may not feel like you, like for instance, a reunion doesn't necessarily mean we get back together and we're in a relationship, okay? Reunion can be we bump into each other, we see each other again, we have a conversation again. Doesn't necessarily mean it goes much further than that. So just to keep a very realistic viewpoint, I'm not saying everybody's going to get back together with the love of their life in these next 48 hours. For some of you, maybe that is the case. I hope that is the case if that's what you want and what is for your highest good. But just like I said, just remember, this could just be, like I said, a fleeting meeting, something small, a small reunion. And it feels like, yeah, that you need more from it. So I don't feel like you're going to feel that satisfied after it, but I feel like you will feel happy as a whole. Like you'll be happy that it happened, but you'll be left wanting more. I feel like it's the key here, group 3. Okay, so let's see what else is coming through about your next 48 hours. What's going to be happening in your next 48 hours, group 3? Okay, we've got smudging ceremony. Excuse me. So you may be doing like a sage cleanse or, you know, an incense cleanse, answering the call. Yeah. Oh, this makes so much sense because it feels like, again, there's this longing, this hoping, this wishing to see or speak to somebody, but then there's a letting go. There's a focusing on clearing out the energy, okay? Like lifting your vibration, maybe doing something else, distracting yourself from it, and then it comes in, look, answering the call. So this may actually be a phone call, like this person calls you. Okay, for some of you I heard they might actually withhold their number, do no caller ID because they're afraid that you might not answer because it's them, for some of you. Yeah, but definitely something about an important phone call one way or the other. Even if you reconnect with them, this person in a different way, whether it's by phone or something else, I still feel like an actual call is coming in, okay? On your phone, it's going to ring, right? And it's going to be important in some way, okay? Definitely. Because again, I see you answering it. You're going to feel called to answer it. Your intuition will make you answer it. Even like having this reading, like your intuition guided you to listen to this reading. So even having this foresight to answer the call, like you're going to lean into it for sure. Okay, what else is going to be happening in your next 48 hours? I will look at the fishbowl messages in just a moment. Your next 48 hours. Okay, we've got the world in I was going to say in reverse, but I was going to say that it's not in reverse. It's upright. And we've got strategy. Okay. So again, this could be in connection to a trip, okay? You're planning to see someone overseas or that lives far away. Or planning a trip just in general, but you may end up bumping into somebody. Like that could also be something strange, couldn't it? I mean, stranger things have happened, but you could bump into somebody whilst you're traveling somewhere, okay? But yeah, I definitely feel like you're going to be in the beginning of this next 48 hours will be very different to how you end, because it feels like, you're going to be quite rigid, focused, like this is what needs to happen. These are my plans for the next 2 days. And you're just going to be like, ticking, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, getting things done in quite a logical way. But by the end, I feel like you're going to be like, ooh, I'm just going to kind of go with the flow now and see where it leads, because my intuition is definitely guiding me in the right direction. And so sometimes we need space in order for our intuition to guide us. If we have too many plans, too much rigidity, there's not enough room for spontaneity. So it's important to have a balance, isn't it? Okay, we've got desire. Wow. So and I really feel like it's connected to this person. You're going to feel a very strong desire for them. Very, very strong. Okay, 9 of Wands reversed. Okay. Destiny. body and mind, and then self. At times you may not feel that grounded, so I feel like you are being guided to remind yourself to ground. Okay, you can simply walk barefoot on the earth, that will ground you. Hugging a tree will ground you. You can imagine a rope tied around your waist and then the other end of the rope connected or tied around the earth's core, that will ground you. I just feel like if you don't ground yourself, you're going to end up kind of floating off into the distance. You may end up in a bit of a fantasy place, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes we have to go through those motions. And it may be that you use fantasy as a way of escapism at points, because I see you, in this very lustful place, like you're lusting, you're desiring after someone. It really feels like it is a person, okay? For some of you, though, it may be other things, like it may be certain foods, like you're lusting after. You feel like you're desiring a lot, okay? Or maybe this is something monetary, like you're lusting after certain items that you want to buy, okay? But yeah, I just feel like regardless whatever your fantasies are, I mean, they're great. They serve their purpose. But yeah, I feel like you're being guided to remind yourself to come back down to earth as well, to keep yourself grounded, to allow yourself to focus on the reality that's also in front of you. Because again, we want to have a balance of the two things. That's how we manifest, okay? We have to imagine it first, we have to see it first, and then we can put the wheels in motion to make it happen. But here I feel like there's a little bit of this back and forth where you feel like things are manifesting, but then the actions, like this passion ignited reverse, like the actions aren't quite meeting your expectations, your expectations versus reality. It reminds me of 500 Days of Summer, where there's the part of the film where he's going to see Summer and he has his expectation of how this meeting will go, and then he's got the reality, side by side on the screen. And I love that particular part. I love the whole film, but you might really like that film as well. If you haven't seen it, definitely recommend it. But it explains fantasy in a very realistic way, because it shows how that can lead to disappointments as well when you expect things to go a particular way. So it's always better, especially in those circumstances, to try and let it go. That's why spontaneous nights are always the best ones, or spontaneous trips, because you've got no expectation. So it can only go up from there. Whereas if you have all of these ideas of how it should be and what you want it to be, it's hard for the reality to actually meet that, which then creates that feeling of disappointment. So I feel like that's something you're being guided to be aware of here, and to be aware of your body and mind connection. Although, like I said, I do feel your body and mind is going to be very well in connection to each other because of your intuition, because, excuse me, I do see you following it. Like when the third eye is there and upright, it's like not only are you receiving intuitive messages, but you're actually following the guidance of them. Like if you felt called, say you're walking down the street and your intuition guides you to walk to the left and you choose to walk to the left, that's you being in alignment. If your intuition guides you to walk to the left and you ignore it, then you're ignoring it. You're ignoring what your intuition, so you're not in full alignment. Okay, so we've got social. So yeah, you may be spending some time with friends, or like I said, with this lover's person. Splenic authority, that is literally what I was just saying, okay, about like the walking thing, the walking in one direction. Like the splenic authority is like your gut instinct. It's what animals use. They don't have that evolved part of the brain where they're thinking, I should do this and I should do that. They just move in one direction. They feel a predator is coming in one direction, their body will direct them in another. And they don't have the brain to confuse them like we do. That's why we can get ourselves into trouble sometimes as human beings, by thinking too much. So it feels like you're definitely going to be letting your body do the guiding, but it is actually coming from your intuition. Okay, I'm just going to get a couple more here. Okay, so we've got news incoming. So yeah, makes sense. We've got answering the call. A call is coming in. You may also get some more news, through a text, DM, email. Fitness instructor. Okay, so you may be doing something, in relation to fitness these next couple of days, doing something that's good for your body, or maybe connecting with somebody who is a fitness instructor. We've got control. So yeah, a lot of this next 2 days will be about control for you, group 3, which makes sense with what's come through with this controlling your thoughts, controlling, how much you fantasize. Okay, so we've got impulsive. Again, very intuitive in that sense. When you lean into your impulsivities, you're going with the flow. So yeah, you are going to feel that kind of impulsive energy to do certain things, but you won't always know why. Again, that is what impulsive action is. Like, you don't know necessarily the reason, but afterwards is when you look back and you go, that's why I needed to move in that direction. That reminds me when I'm cooking, and I always put the egg timer on, but then I'll get distracted with other things in a different room, be focusing, and then something will just drive me to the kitchen. It might even be, to get a drink. And then as soon as I arrive, it's like the timer is about to go off. And that happens every time. So I always have time. It never gets, I never have to hear the bell and then go out to it. I'm just always there before it goes off. And that's the impulsivity. Okay, I'm protecting my heart. So again, like I said, there may be some form of escapism. The fantasy element could be, a way of you protecting your heart. Okay, we've got fashion designer. So maybe you're going to be buying some new clothes these next couple of days, or maybe restyling yourself. Or maybe you'll be watching some kind of fashion or design program, it could be very specific like that. And then the exciting times ahead. Excuse me. So yeah, there is excitement on the horizon for you. And again, I feel like it's going to come, excuse me, through these impulsive actions, okay? Through you following your intuition, through some kind of social occasion here. It's going to be an interesting couple of days, that's for sure, group 3. So I really hope that this resonates with you, whether it's now, obviously, or later. If you remember, come back to the video and let us know if it made sense for you. And if you did enjoy this, please do give the video a like. I really do appreciate all of your support and your engagement. Even if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I appreciate you either way. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the link to my website is below. I do hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now.